Next, we'd like to have VP of Campaigns and Advocacy, Gayle McFadden, Aerissa Roy-Dupuis, and Saereen Qureshi.
So my name is Saereen Qureshi, and I'm running for the VP of Campaign and Advocacy with the YU Red. We're known as the Red Nation. But let me get back to why it is that I want to be a part of YFS at York. So basically with first of all, I've also been to U of T and George Brown, and I have to say, York is the best. I'm serious. Like, the social life here, and it's so vibrant here. Like, you even come at the beginning of semester, you don't even have to worry about buying a lunch, right? So, there's so many things people are willing to, give. And I love that about York, and I really want to continue that, the social life here. So can I advocate? Can I or not? Comments like that. I also got on the Craig's Award as well. So got an award, got on the Dean's Honor Roll. But yes, basically, I feel like the student life here is so important, the social life. And I feel education is also important as well. And I really feel like they go hand in hand together. Because, you can even ask like people in your own major for advice, even like professors, even like anybody. And basically, I think that, as a York University student, I would love to represent even all of you. I've even like given advice to like third year and fourth year student while I was actually in my first year. So I think there's a lot of not a lot of awareness in York University and all that's available to us. And I just feel like that why is it that we don't know even all the meetings that YFS has, right? Like students can actually join in. So I would love to have more involvement, more people involved in our YFS as well. So I think students are missing out, and I think that York has so much to offer. And it's, to me, in my opinion, I love to represent York as your VP of Campaign and Advocacy with the YU Red, because to me, honestly, York University is the best post-secondary school that I have ever been to. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sue.
Hello, my name is Aerissa Roy-Dupuis, and I'm running for the Vice President of Campaigns and Advocacy with the York Federation of Students. Try saying that 5 times fast. I know I shouldn't. I served as the events coordinator at the Center for Women and Trans People and coordinated an event called Trans Awareness Week, where we built awareness about transgender people and the issues that they face. I served as a sexual health educator with health education and promotion. For me, LGBT youth are definitely a priority, but as I came to get more involved at York, I also developed a love for students and the issues that they face. In their fight for affordable education, in their fight for fairness from the administration, and in the fight for just having a good time at York and finding time to do as they please. I want to do this by creating a student-run and operated grocery co-op where people can have affordable food options that are much less expensive than the options available at the cafeteria. I want to address the endemic issue of mental health at this campus. People are waiting weeks and weeks to see counselors at Counseling and Disability Services, and that is unacceptable. At U First, we want to create a student care center where people can come to get peer support counseling, where people can come to have free yoga classes and meditation classes, or they can just chill on a couch and play a game of Call of Duty. I feel that in this role, I can also advocate for something that has been advocated for year after year after year. I want to fight for lower tuition fees, but I want to do it in a very specific way. I want to lobby the provincial government to broaden the eligibility requirements for the 30% tuition grant. Too many people are excluded from this, and I feel that the eligibility requirements, they need to be broadened. And by broadening them, education will be accessible not just to people who graduated high school within 4 years, but to all students, mature students, single mothers, people in their 20s trying to make it in the world. So, when February 11th through 14th comes around, vote you first. Vote Aerissa for Vice President of Campaigns and Advocacy with the York Federation of Students. Thank you very much.
Hi there, folks. My name is Gayle McFadden, and I'm running to be your Vice President Campaigns and Advocacy for the Team York United. This year, I was honored to represent 53,000 undergraduate students as the current Vice President Campaigns and Advocacy for the York Federation of Students. Since this time, I've seen firsthand the effects of barriers to post-secondary education, affecting students' well-being, their academics, and their state of mind. A wall of debt created this year in Very Hall was a perfect example of how brick by brick, student debt is creating a wall blocking us from success. I have and will continue to commit to working tirelessly to getting a better deal for international and domestic students alike, creating a safe and happy campus, and ensuring that food options at both Glendon and Keele don't leave students studying on an empty stomach. Also, with a series of municipal, provincial, and federal elections right on the horizon, I want to ensure that students are prepared to make student issues the issues that politicians are talking about when vying for our votes. This year, we've been able to have epic victories, like decreasing the York enrollment deposit from $450 to $300, and uniting with students across the province to make OSAP easier to access in Ontario. We've been able to lobby the administration to create the university's first ever sexual assault policy, but let's continue to combat gender-based violence by creating a sexual assault support and reporting center on campus. I want this unity to continue to spread across the province and the country through the work of the Canadian Federation of Students, which unites students under one commitment to affordable and accessible education on a campus where students can feel safe. There are influential bodies that are hell-bent on keeping our collective vision of an affordable and accessible post-secondary education just out of reach for students. These Goliaths will seek to pit international students against domestic students, students against workers, science against the arts, part-time versus full-time, and any other differences that they can find to cleave our student movement. But York United subscribes to the reality that unity is our goal and our diversity is our greatest strength. There are countless ways in which we can be divided, but greater still are the ways in which we can unite. So on February 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th, vote to keep York united by voting Hamoudi Hanenu for president, Julian Jasnevsky for vice president operations, Midland Mathapalan for vice president equity, Megan Dusil for vice president campus life, myself, Gayle McFadden for vice president campaigns and advocacy, and the whole York United team. Thank you so much.
So I noticed that there was mention of the being in solidarity with the Canadian Federation of Students to help reduce tuition fees. Now I understand it's a reality. However, right now, I'm not sure if you're aware, but the Canadian Federation of Students is battling legal fees with other student unions across Canada, going through the federation battle. So they're using student money from student levies from all across Canada to, well, to fight students, essentially. So how is it that you can combat tuition fees while using students' money that way? Legal battles, all those fees.
I think we've seen amazing wins this year in terms of work that we've done through the Canadian Federation of Students. I myself sit as the York Federation of Students, Local 68 of the Canadian Federation of Students, representative on the provincial executive, and we've had amazing wins this year, like making OSAP easier to access in the province, and on a national scale, for international students, tying the work visa and the student visa. So I think these are the important ways that we can keep working towards a provincial vision and a national vision of an affordable and accessible post-secondary education for all by focusing on the issues.
I'm personally of the opinion that, yes, we should work with the Canadian Federation of Students because we are federated with them. However, I also think that we should turn inward and see what we can do as a collective student body. I think for too long, we've kind of delegated these tasks out to other people, to this Canadian Federation of Students. But really, we should unite as York students. That's why I believe that we should put you first. Thank you.
I just have to say that the CFS has a $2 million budget, even the YFS has $2 million. Really, it's very important. We need to know where the money, all this money is going, because it's really the students that are in the struggle, right, to maintain their financial position. But what is, I mean, I'm not blaming anybody either, but where is all this money going? Why isn't it being reported, right? Like, it's, to be honest, all this money actually comes from you, the students, right? So we need to know where it's going, and I definitely, if you elect me for VP of Campaign and Advocacy, I will hold people accountable, and also myself. And I am also willing to, again, donate my salary as well, because to me, I'm doing this for you. So thank you.
I have a question relating to your style of campaigning and advocating for students. Yes, there have been victories with regards to large protests and big demonstrations, but do any of you see value in actually creating small lobby groups, going to a group of executives and saying, hey, this is what the students actually want? Do you think that could work? Do you think that's feasible? Do you think that's something that you as a student leader, you as a campaigner, you as someone who is advocating for students, is that something that you can stand behind?
Thank you, that's a really good question. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head in touching on the different methods of outreaching to students, and it's actually really encouraging because I've seen folks in this room at education coalition meetings that we've been having where it is that focused on issues that students find important. It is important to have larger scale events that a variety of students can engage in, but by creating a diversity of tactics to engage students on campus, you're able to touch base with students who are facing a number of different realities, whether they're commuters, whether they're part-time, whether they're mature and have a dependent at home. Whatever the case for students, you need to provide a variety of methods in which to get involved to make sure that you're getting the most involvement, the most bang for your time.
As a campaigner, I feel like the work that York United and our federation has done is good. It's good. I feel though that advocating with executives and having lobby groups and doing research is also a very effective way of doing things, and I'd like to see us shift more to that. Additionally, I also feel like we need to have more of a social media presence. I feel like we really need to tap into this new market of things. It's important to have placards and protests and stuff like that. But I also feel it's important to kind of engage with people where they're at right now. People are on Facebook, people are on Twitter, people are on Instagram and Tumblr. So I'd like to see us kind of rededicate a lot more resources to that sort of medium because that's where we would reach students the most, because that's where students are, online. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Saereen again. But to address this question, I think what we need to do is, I think Lincoln said it best. I'm sorry. Not Canadian, but he was a prime minister. So he says, ask not what I can do for your university, but well, he said country, but I'll use university. But what your university can do for you. Again, we need to get students involved, awareness and community building, and because one person can do it, but more the better.
Thank you for your answers.